We know you're busy and respect your valuable time. So this is your daily dose of 5-minute news with Jay Thomas. Take it away, Jay.
So, 5
Now,
minutes.
from a secret location outside of Hooker, Oklahoma, nestled in our DEFCON 1 priority bunker, safely ensconced hundreds of feet below the fruited plains where America grows her amber waves. Articulating profundities with humor and perspicacity seldom heard between these purple mountains' majesty, it's the Jay Thomas Show, with your humble host, Jay Thomas.
Oh, thank you, Alex. Like I said yesterday, it's our anniversary. So I'm doing something special for the little lady, and so I don't get killed. And so we can be short today. Hello, Cece. For me. Well, thank you, dear. Get over there in your box. Goodbye. Don't go anywhere. Oh my God. Okay, so hold 1 second. Okay, and we're back. And we're back with some breaking news. Let's hit it.
And now, Jay Thomas News with breaking news. And when news breaks, we fix it. And now the news with Jay Thomas. And the news, along with Cece McCece and her famous intro, Biff Bunyan with the weather, and Katie Von Crystal Katie with a spotlight on spotlights. And now, with no further delays, interruptions, waiting, or more delays, here is Jay Thomas and breaking, now repaired news. Take it away, Jay.
Now that we repaired it all, we take it away. All right. I don't know where to take it, but not after that. Okay. We do have some breaking news, and it comes from another porch, very close to Nancy Guthrie's porch. Famed Houston crime sketch artist Louise Gibson. I don't know who she is. She's captured over 1,200 criminals doing her sketches. And also, she's helped identify hundreds of skulls. They find a skull, and she does her magic, and I'm telling you, it looks just like the person, almost like the person that it went missing. And she's really good. Her story is a little bit tragic. She was attacked in California while going to school, and she decided to do this. She's a great artist. She has, it's in the Houston Chronicle. She has drawn a picture from the from the doorbell photo of this guy with his ski mask on. She's like AI, but better, because she can talk, So she's done a sketch of this guy, and then, if you look at this guy, there's a guy a week before the abduction. There's another guy who looks like Carlos. Maybe it is Carlos delivering something to a porch, but we don't know. He is spotted on someone else's porch, just a few miles away from Nancy Guthrie's porch. It looks like he's dragging a body up, to the door. I don't know. So there's that, and he looks like he has the goatee and everything. He looks like the drawing that Louise Gibson did. This is spooky. She's so good. She really is. So that's the update. It's not a news. Well, it's breaking news. We just broke it. So, now we're doing breaking news. This is sad. We're trying to fix it. So this is interesting, though. So we have another, in the glove, by the way. Oh, man. Sheriff Manos, the fate of hands, the hands of fate. Sheriff Torgo. I'm not gonna. We have the Torgo song, and I am weighing whether to play the Torgo song every time I talk about Sheriff Nanos, I believe his name is. Anyway, apparently the sheriff in Pima County, the sheriff department, has a bunch of gloves that they found along the highway. Like I said, they probably blew out of trucks and they were trash. Well, they picked up a whole bunch of gloves and they sent them to some lab in Florida. They didn't tell the FBI about it, so the FBI has released that they have found I'm going to turn this off for a minute. They found a glove inside the house, and he said, yeah, we found them inside and outside. We found them down the street. We found them everywhere. So they have a bunch of gloves with a bunch of DNA, and apparently they sent them to a separate, which causes a problem, a separate laboratory. And now that's going to cause a problem if any of that DNA, let's say they catch this guy, and they bring Carlos in for questioning again, and they catch this guy, and they go to court, because both labs that may not have the same diagnosis, I guess you would call it, the same lab reports, they may be a little bit off. They're going to throw those out. There's a good chance someone was saying they're going to throw those out of court, and they won't be able to use the DNA, and that might be stuck. The DNA might be attached to other things. They may not be able to bring those other things into court. So the reason, Sheriff Torgo really screwed this up. Like I said yesterday, from the beginning, if you look at the beginning, Sheriff Nanos really screwed this up. From the beginning, he did. And it's getting worse and worse. In the meantime, the important part is, in the meantime, day 13, there's really nothing to report on the front of getting her back. So, and it's 13 days. I'm telling you, I think she's deceased, and I think that she was deceased probably a couple days or a day after she was not kidnapped. What do you think, Cece? Yeah, well, yeah, I think maybe that she, because she needed that medication, or she's 84 and she's freaking out. There's a guy there in a mask, and he's dragging her through the cactuses or cacti, and throw her in a van or something. How did he get her to where she is now? He had to have a vehicle, so he didn't drag her through the desert. So there's that, and so I think that she had, and then there's the blood. Maybe he punched her in the face, and to get her under control, she was fighting, and he just punches her in the nose. She's 84 years old with heart problems. She's not going to survive that. And the stupid sheriff, the sheriff is screwing around with the FBI. He's not doing his job. He's out there thanking everybody. I like to thank the community. The community is really great. Even the snotty people with no lights in front of their house. Those snotty people, they're great. And so's Girl Scout Troop 759. They're great too. And that's all he did for the first 2 days. And he is, if she's dead, and they find out the day she passed away was like 2 or 3 days after Sheriff Nanos was out there screwing around, he's gonna catch hell. I think. No, you know what? Maybe not. I bet you there's a bunch of Democrats moved from California, and they don't really care. Because Democrats don't give a rat's ass about anything except illegal aliens. And the guy looks like he's an illegal alien. That's the problem, right there. And if they find out he's an illegal alien, they will shut this up. Even NBC, who Guthrie works for, won't say that he was an illegal alien. I'm telling you that right now. That is my prediction. I'm telling you. What? How can they get away with it? Wow, have you been paying attention? Okay, this is Fox News. Just moments ago. Where did I put it? You don't know where I put it. This is outnumbered, and it's I don't know, 20 minutes ago. It started like this. This is how it starts. Let's chip it in. Chip it in.
Well, let's start here. Investigators have also been requesting home security footage from Nancy Guthrie's neighbors, specifically looking for video from January 11th between 9 p.m. and midnight and January 31st between 9:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. Unclear why they zeroed in on.
Okay. They want it from the 11th of January, 9 p.m. to midnight, all the way to 9 to 11 o'clock in the morning, the 31st. Nancy didn't disappear until 2 o'clock in the morning, February 1st. So why do they want the doorbell footage between here and there? Because they think the guy was casing the house. That's why. But those are just, why not go, hey, you got anything after that? You got anything to the 2nd of February? Can we have it expanded a little? And who put out this? The Sheriff Nanos? Or the FBI? Doesn't really say. But this is how this has gone for 13 days now. Now they're looking for doorbell footage. They're requesting doorbell footage from everybody in the area, and shouldn't this have been a thing that you did, like, I don't know, day 2? I don't know. I don't know why. Why would I? How would I know? I don't know why they want it from these dates. They must have something in mind. They must think. And again. If there were roofers on the roof, which it looks like a brand spanking new roof, they saw everything up on the roof. They saw people coming and going. They saw black vans, white vans. They saw everything. They saw cars. They saw snooty neighbors walking around. They saw the whole thing. Well, then I don't know. I called the FBI. I waited on the phone. They said that I could give my idea online, and so I went online. I gave them my telephone number. They texted me. I went on the text. And it said, if you have any information on kidnapping. So I hit kidnapping, and it said, you can't give any information about kidnapping online. Son of a bitch. So, that's not swearing. So, I called them, and I stayed on the line for like a half an hour. I was picking up my daughter, and they came back, and I said, hey, I think it's the roofers. You should talk to the roofers. That's a brand new roof. And she cut me off, and she said, do you have any direct evidence or not? And I said, no, I'm just giving you an idea. And she said, well, we don't want any ideas. We only want it if you know who took her. I said, well, okay. So that's what happens when you call 800-CALL-FBI. That's what happens. I finally did it. I couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, look at the roof. Look at the brand new freaking roof. And then they have the gloves. And I'm like, yeah, they use gloves. And guess what else they use? They use backpacks on TPO jobs. All my guys had backpacks with stuff in them that you need for TPO work and your lunch, by the way. And not only that, they have the tennis shoes, especially on residential jobs. We used light colored tennis shoes because when you roll the TPO out and you sort of dance on it, stretching it out. And you don't want to wear black shoes because that leaves marks on the TPO. And there's no marks on the TPO, I'm telling you. That is a clue. But I don't know. They got my 2 cents anyway. So I did that yesterday because I couldn't take it anymore. Freaking, I had a dream last night again. I don't know. But it included her missing, and I was on a boat with a cannon. I don't know why. I'm not going to get into my dreams. But that's, yeah. I picked up the daughter, and I was gonna. I'm on hold. I was on hold for a long time. I kept calling back, and they would disconnect, and I kept calling back, and I finally had that. I had to give them all the information, and they had to ask me where I live. I heard the whole thing, so I did that, and they came online. I said, I think it's the roofers. I know they have some, and they said, yeah, we don't care what you think. Thanks for calling, but we only want to know if you have any clue, direct clue, and you know who they are. That's who we want to call here. So that's where we're at with that. That's our. No, I had other things to talk about. I had some things here in Oklahoma, and all right. There's a rumor going around that that the scuttlebutt, the scuttlebutt is that Fucky Schumer. We're not live yet. Fucky Schumer offered the Kentucky, what the hell, Massey. He offered Massey a job in the next Democrat presidential administration. Like I don't know. Wait a minute. Why would Massey accept that? I thought Massey didn't like government. Why would he want to run a department? But they're saying that he offered him the department head job, and that's why he's voting against Trump, and he hates Trump anyway. So, one of the things that we're going to talk about, hopefully we'll have all the phones up and running next week. One of the things we're going to talk about, besides Nancy Guthrie, because she's still going to be missing next week, I'm telling you, and we'll have a Saturday supplemental for Valentine's Day. It is Valentine's Day tomorrow, not Thanksgiving. And we're going to have a Saturday supplemental. See, on this tomorrow. But you know what's happening? I think they're onto something with this Massey thing and Schumer. And I think that, like, we just had an election in Oklahoma City, and the mayor, who's a Republican, who's actually a Democrat, won by an astounding margin. But he won, and he's a rhino. He's a James Langford wannabe. He's just terrible, and here we are. And I'm telling you, I think that the I still have my cold. Sorry. I think that the Democrats are talking to Republicans, saying, "Hey, look, in 2 years, Trump is gone. Trumpism will be gone. Don't you want to go back to being the old way it used to be? Like, you guys would lose and we would win, and then you guys would lose some more and we would win, and don't you want to go back to that, where you can just go out and golf and come in and collect your paycheck? Don't you want to do that? Because you know what? The Republicans, weak Republicans, have been like that for years. They've been like, the Democrats dog whip them. They dog whip. You know what dog whipping is? There might be a colloquialism. A dog whipping is when you whip your dog so much, the dog just whips himself, and he just does what you say, because psychologically you're whipping him, so you can get him to do anything. Jump off the cliff, he'll jump off the cliff. That's dog whipping. So they've dog whipped the Republicans so much that they're just weak, sniveling little snots. Or they're Democrats. Democrats have been infiltrating the Republican Party and getting Democrats to run as Republicans, and then they vote Democrat, and everybody's happy. And that's the way it was until Trump came along, and that's what they want to do from now on, and that's what's going to happen. Once Trump is out of the way, they're figuring, hey, don't you want it to go back to the way it used to be? Well, you're too young, Susie. You're too young to remember this stuff. You thank God you have me to teach you. What? Have you ever thanked your stars you ran into me? Thank God that you ran into me and I could teach you these things? Do you teach your husband doesn't? You don't talk politics with you. Well, your husband doesn't talk politics. He really doesn't care, does he? He really doesn't. He's not like real political. Okay. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Happy St. Valentine's Day is coming up. I'm sure that Chucky Schumer is going to send Massey a Valentine's Day card. Maybe go over there and give him a massage. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Huh? And you know, give him some love muffins. So, yeah. Cece says goodbye. I say goodbye. We will see you soon. Let me make sure that this is turned up. You got to turn it up. Isn't that a happy song? I've gotten really to like this song. I go around whistling it. All right, well, let's stand by for the next Guthrie update. Love you guys. See you soon.